tres, cuatro.
Welcome to this bonus episode of Sound Opinions. We recently aired an interview with guitarist, singer, and songwriter Nancy Wilson of Heart, but we wanted to share more of that interview since we had such a great time doing it, and because I've been a fan since like 1978, and there was some great stuff on the cutting room floor.
Listen as we talk with Nancy about her soundtrack work on the film Almost Famous, whether her kids think it's cool that she's a rock star, and when she'll tour her solo record, and again with Heart.
You know, I think, Nancy, one of the things that your fans have come to really appreciate the guitar playing was in the soundtracks you did for your husband, Cameron Crowe, at the time was your husband.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I had a fantastic experience where I was on set when they were doing the final day of sound mixing for Almost Famous. There were all these looks back at 20 years since that movie. And Cameron was stymied. There needed to be the perfect piece of music in that scene where young William Miller, his doppelganger, is running along the airport concourse, and Kate Hudson's in the jet window and they're looking at each other. I need some. And he calls you up, and I'm sitting next to him. You had the boys. The boys were just born. They were infants at that point, and now they're going to be 21, right? And I got to get a sitter. All right, I'll come, right? And then you came down to the Fox lot, and you sat down and plugged in your bass to a fuzz box, to a Marshall stack, and you said, "Hey Jim, come sit here." And I sat there, and Cameron ran the film, and you hit a chord on the bass, as I recall it, and it sustained and sustained and sustained, and you look at him, is it something like that? He said, "Exactly that." Well, I'll do it again. No, that's perfect. And then you left. And I was like, oh my God, it's my claim to fame. I sat next to Nancy Wilson while she played the one perfect chord.
The finish off triple.
Yeah. But you added, not only wrote the songs of Stillwater, this band that never existed, that is so perfect, but the interstitial music is so beautiful for those films. And I was just wondering, what the film scoring experience taught you, and if we'll get more of that from you.
That's a great story. Oh my God.
Yeah, you have no memory of it, but to me, I was like, okay, this, I met John Paul Jones once, and I'm, and now I've sat next to Nancy Wilson while she recorded for the movie.
Yeah, I think I'd already written the score cue for that scene, but it just needed to be heavier, and it needed a big sustained to bring the heartbreak to the scene, to fill it up emotionally more, and that was a recurring theme throughout the film, which had the mandolin and stuff going on, but I think it just needed to have the underlying emotional wallop was what I figured. Well, I better go put the bass on then.
It was perfect.
Yeah, that's so cool that you knew. Yeah, I had a really fun doing the score stuff. The score stuff was a big education for me musically because it's so different from writing rock music, songs where you have to pull lyrics out of your soul, and try to expose something that you feel without allowing your review board in your own head, to stop you.
I've heard you talk about that it was Paul Simon who taught you that you've got to turn off that critic in your head.
Yeah.
And start from something small in order to write.
Yeah, you want to start somewhere, kind of a moment or like a weather report or something, and then you sort of open it out. And then when you get to your bridge area, you want to kind of summate in summation, here's what I'm learned, or here's what I've been taught by this experience, and then you kind of get back to your catchy chorus.
Get back to the chorus quickly.
When you count up the rainstorms, when you're running for cover, no, you're not lost.
So I hear that Hart is thinking about possibly doing some more work. I don't know if this is going to preclude you touring behind your solo record, which we're excited about. But what's the next year look like for you, Nancy?
Well, there's a nice fat offer on the table from Nation for Hart to go out in 2022, which sounds really exciting to me. The last one we did was really one of the better tours ever, more successful than almost any other Hart tour since the mid-'80s. And so, I mean, for the next little while, bolstered by the fact that the vaccination thing is starting to roll out better, and there's more people that can get vaccinated, in more age groups getting vaccinated. We have a plan with the solo thing to go to Seattle in June, early June, and do a show with the Seattle Symphony at Benaroya Hall, which is
that's cool.
It's a gorgeous performance art center with a big pipe organ in the back. It's built for sound. It's one of those gorgeous places. Hart's played there too. We did a Christmas program there one time. But so it would be a show, hopefully, that would not only happen one time. We'd maybe go more than one night there, depending. And I'd go probably out by myself first, do some solo acoustic stuff, and then bring the band out, who all lives in Seattle. Most of them are from the band, the last tour, Hart tour, who worked on my album. And then at the end of the show, then bring the Seattle Symphony out with the full band and everybody.
Wow.
And finish the show like that. It seems like it might be doable by June, and maybe we could do it more than once, or maybe travel it to a couple of other performance art built for sound type rooms.
Does any of this ever impress the twins? Soon to be 21.
They are 21. They turned 21.
Oh, they are already 21. Okay. Does any of this impress them, or is it just like, yeah, Ma, I don't want to hear it?
When they were little, they didn't quite understand what it was I exactly was trying to do out there. Like, why are all these people yelling at my mom, and she's up on this platform? Like, I hope they're not trying to hurt her,
Yeah.
But they really get it now. They're really proud, and they're like, yeah, Mom, you're a badass,
You are a badass,
Absolutely.
for sure.
And my son, there's Billy and Curtis. Billy's an illustrator, really a good illustrator, and Curtis is quite a good guitar player at this time. And incidentally, he had a little poem that he'd written for school, where I really liked it because it was whimsical, and it's called "The In Between," and it turned into one of the songs on this album.
Oh, okay. So the song "The In Between" on "You and Me" is based on that.
Yeah, a lot of his lyrics are in it from a poem.
Now look at me, I look at you. What's right to me might be wrong to you.
Which I suddenly found to be very appropriate in the light of the red and the blue and the wrong and the right and all of the argumentative, nature of the atmosphere of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I thought that's pretty meaningful right now. So, and put it in a whimsical context like that, it sort of takes some of the barbs out of it.
See, you miss having with an advanced stream, Nancy, or back when we used to get advanced cassettes. We'd get like notes like that. But that's great. I'm eager to go back and listen to that song again.
I know it's people kind of really gravitate towards it because it's fun, and there's a lot of kind of heavy-handed, poetic stuff too in the album. So, yeah, so it's very versatile. The album's versatile.
That's it for this bonus episode of Sound Opinions. If you've got thoughts on this episode, start a conversation in our Facebook group or leave a voice message on our website. To support the show, join our Patreon community or buy some merch at soundopinions.org. Thanks for listening.